ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar, my dear friends. Already I have made 6 videos on talks by Ramana Maharshi. This is the 7th video. This video will start with talk number 122, that is 1st January 1936. Talk number 122. A crowd had gathered here during Christmas. Devotee, how to attain unity consciousness. Maharshi, being unity consciousness, how to attain it? Your question is its own answer. Devotee, what is Atma, self, Anatma, non-self, and Paramatma, supreme self? Maharshi replies, Atma is Jivatma, the individual self, and the rest are plain. The self is ever present, Nitya Siddha. Each one wants to know the self. What kind of help does one require to know oneself? People want to see the self as something new, but it is eternal and remains the same all along. They desire to see it as a blazing light, etc. How can it be? It is not light, not darkness, no tejo, no tamaha. It is only as it is. It cannot be defined. The best definition is I am that I am. The Shrutis speak of the self as being the size of one's thumb, the tip of hair, an electric spark, vast, subtler than the subtlest, etc. They have no foundation in fact. It is only being, but different from the real and the unreal. It is knowledge, but different from knowledge and ignorance. How can it be defined at all? It is simple being. Again, Sri Bhagavan said that in the whole Thayunmanvar literature, he preferred one stanza which says, ego disappearing, another I, spontaneously manifest in full glory, etc. Again, he cites Sakandar Anubhuti, not real, nor unreal, not darkness, nor light it is. One man said that a Siddha of Kumbakonam claimed to overcome the defects in Sri Shankara's system, which deals only with transcendentalism and not the work-a-day life. One must be able to exercise superhuman powers in ordinary life. That is to say, one must be a Siddha in order to be perfect. Sri Bhagavan pointed out a stanza in Thayumanavar which condemns all Siddhis. Further, he said that Thayumanavar mentions Mona, silence, in numerous places, but defines it is only one verse. Mona is said to be that state which spontaneously manifests after the annihilation of the ego. That state is beyond light and darkness, but still it is called light since no other proper word could be found for it. 3rd January 1936, talk number 123. Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Sayyid, a Muslim professor of Persian and Urdu in the University of Allahabad, asked, what is the purpose of this external manifestation? Maharshi, this manifestation had induced your question. Devotee, true, I am covered by Maya. How to be free from it? Maharshi, who is covered by Maya? Who wants to be free? Devotee, Master being asked who? Master being asked who? I know that it is ignorant me, composed of the senses, mind and body. I tried this enquiry. Who, after reading Paul Brunton's book, 3 or 4 times I was feeling elated and the elation lasted some time and faded away. How to be established in I? Please give me the clue and help me, Master. Maharshi, that which appears new must also disappear in due course. Devotee, please tell me the method of reaching the eternal truth. Mercy, you are that. Can you ever remain apart from the self? To be yourself requires no effort since you are always that. Talk number 124. Another impatient questioner elaborated long premises and finished asking why some children die a premature death. He required the answer not to satisfy the grown-ups, ones who look on, but the babies who are the victims. Maharshi, let the victims ask. Why do you ask and desire the answer from the standpoint of the child? Talk number 125. The Muslim professor asked, when I am here, my mind is sattvic. As soon as I turn my back on this, my mind hankers after so many objects. Maharshi, are the objects different from you? There can be no objects without the subject. Devotee, and how shall I know it? Maharshi, being that, what do you want to know? Are there two selves for the one to know the other? Devotee, again I repeat, sir, how to know the truth of all this and experience the same. Mercy, there is no gaining of anything new. All that is required is to rid the self of ignorance. This ignorance is the identification of the self with the non-self. Devotee, yes, still I do not understand. I must have your help. Everyone here is waiting on you for your grace. You yourself must have sought originally the help of a Guru or of God. Extend that grace to others now and save me. Before I came here, I desired to see you very much, but somehow I could not find an opportunity to do so. In Bangalore, I made up my mind to return to my place. I met Mr. Friedman and others who sent me here. You have dragged me here. My case is like Paul Brunton's in Bombay, when he was dragged here having cancelled his passage home. I hesitated at first on arrival. I wondered if I would be permitted to approach you and converse with you. My doubts were soon set at rest. I find that all are equal here. You have established an equality among all. I dined with you and others. If I should say so to my people in UP, they would not believe it. The Brahmins would not drink water with me, nor chew pan with me, but here you have taken me and others like me in your fold. Though Gandhi is striving hard, he cannot bring about such a state of affairs in the country. I am very happy in your presence. I regard you as God. I consider Sri Krishna to be true God because he has said, whomsoever one may worship, the worshipper worship me only and I save him. Whereas all others have said salvation is through me, meaning himself only. Krishna alone is so broad-minded and has spoken like God. You observe the same kind of equality. Talk number 126. Dr. Sayyid again asked, should anyone desirous of spiritual progress take to action or renunciation, Parvirti Marga or Nirvirti Marga? Mercy, do you go out of the self? What is meant by giving up? An American engineer asked about Satsanga, association with sages. Maharshi, Sat is within us. Devotee, in the book Who Am I, you have said the heart is the seat of the mind. Is it so? Maharshi, the mind is Atma. Devotee, is it Atma itself or its projection? Maharshi, the same. Devotee, the Westerners look on the mind as the highest principle, whereas the Easterners think the contrary. Why? Mercy, where psychology ends, there philosophy begins. This is experience. The mind is born, we see it. Even without the mind, we exist. There is everyone's experience to prove it. Devotee, in deep sleep I do not seem to exist. Mercy, you say so when awake. It is the mind which speaks now. You exist in deep sleep beyond mind. Devotee, Western philosophy admits the higher self as influencing the mind. Talk number 127. The American engineer asked, does distance have any effect upon grace? Mercy, time and space are within us. You are always in yourself. How do time and space affect it? Devotee, in radio, those who are nearer hear sooner. You are Hindu, we are American, does it make any difference? Mercy, no. Devotee, even thoughts are read by others. Even thoughts are read by others. Mercy, that shows that all are one. Talk number 128. There were some French lady, this is 5th January 1936, talk number 128. There were some French ladies and gentlemen and American as visitors to the ashramam. They asked Sri Bhagwan several questions. Among them one was, what is the message of the East to the West? Maharshi, all go to the same goal. To another question, Sri Bhagwan said, how do you say I am? Do you take a light to find yourself, or did you come to know it on reading books? How? The questioner said, by experience. Maharshi, yes, experience is the word. Knowledge implies subject and object, but experience is non-terminal, eternal. 6th January 1936, talk number 129. An elderly gentleman, formerly a co-worker with B.V. Narasimha Swami and author of some Visishta Advaita work, visited the place for the first time. He asked about rebirth, if it is possible for the linga sarira, subtle body, to get dissolved and be reborn into years after death. Mercy, yes, surely not only can one be reborn, one may be 20 or 40 or even 70 years old in the new body, though only 2 years after death. Sri Bhagwan cited Leela's story from Yoga Vasishta. Sarayo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanat dhyanam dhyanat karma phala tyagaha. Here Jnana stands for knowledge without practice. Abhyasa stands for practice without knowledge. Dhyana stands for practice with knowledge. Knowledge without practice accompanying it is superior to practice without knowledge. Practice with knowledge is superior to knowledge. Without practice accompanying it, Karam phala tyaga nishkama karma as of a jnani, action without desire is superior to knowledge with practice. Devotee, what is the difference between yoga and surrender? Maharshi, surrender is bhakti yoga. To reach the source of the I thought is the destruction of the ego, is the attainment of goal, is prapatti, surrender, jnana, etc. Talk number 130. Lakshman Brahmachari from Sri Ramakrishna Mission asked, enquiry of who am I or of the I thought, being itself a thought, how can it be destroyed in the process? Maharshi, when Sita was asked who was her husband among the rishis, Rama himself being present there as a rishi in the forest by the wives of the rishis, she denied each one as he was pointed out to her, but simply hung down her head when Rama was pointed out. Her silence was eloquent. Similarly, the Vedas also are eloquent in neti neti, not this, and then remain silent. Their silence is the real state. This is the meaning of exposition by silence. When the source of the I thought is reached, it vanishes, and what remains over is the self. Devotee, Patanjali Yoga Sutras speak of identification. Maharshi, identification with the Supreme is only the other name for the destruction of ego. Talk number 131. Mr. Subbarao asked, what is Mukhya Prana, the chief prana? Maharshi, it is that from which the ego and the prana rise. It is sometimes called Kundalini. Consciousness is not born at any time, it remains eternal, but ego is born, so also the other thoughts. Associated with the absolute consciousness, they shine forth, not otherwise. Devotee, what is moksha? Liberation. Maharshi, moksha is to know that you were not born. Be still and know that I am God. To be still is not to think, know and not think is the world. Devotee, there are said to be 6 organs of different colors in the chest, of which the heart is said to be 2 finger breadth to the right of the middle line. But the heart is also formless. Should we then imagine it to have a shape and meditate on it? Maharshi, not only the quest, who am I, is necessary. What remains all through deep sleep and walking is the same. But in waking there is unhappiness and the effort to remove it. Asked who wake up from sleep, you say I. Now you are told to hold fast to this I. If it is done, the eternal being will reveal itself. Investigation of I is the point and not meditation on the heart center. There is nothing like within or without. Both mean either the same thing or nothing. Of course, there is also the practice of meditation on the heart center. It is only a practice and not investigation. Only the one who meditates on the heart can remain aware when the mind ceases to be active and remains still. Whereas Those who meditate on other centers cannot be so aware. But infer that the mind was still only after it becomes again active. Talk number 132. An educated man asked, is there an absolute being? What is its relation to the relative existence? Maharshi, are they different from each other? All the questions arise only in the mind. The mind arises with waking and subsides in deep sleep. As long as there is a mind, so long will there be such questions and doubts. Devotee, there must be stage after stage of progress for gaining the absolute. Are these grades of reality? Mercy. There are no grades of reality. There are grades of experience for the jiva and not of reality. If anything can be gained anew, it could also be lost, whereas the absolute is central here and now. Devotee, if so, how do I remain ignorant of it? Avarna. Mercy. For whom is this ignorance veiling? Does the Absolute tell you that it is veiled? It is the Jiva who says that something veils the Absolute. Find out for whom this ignorance is. Devotee. Devotee, why is there imperfection in perfection? That is, how did the Absolute become relative? Maharshi, for whom is this relativity? For whom is this imperfection? The Absolute is not imperfect and cannot ask. The insentient cannot ask the question. Between the two, something has risen up which raises those questions and which fills this doubt. Who is it? Is it the one who has now arisen, or is it the one who is eternal? Being perfect, why do you feel yourself imperfect? Such is the teaching of all the religions. Whatever may be the experiences, the experiencer is one and the same. I is Purna, perfection. There is no diversity in sleep that indicates perfection. Devotee, being perfect, why do I not feel it? Mercy, nor is imperfection felt in deep sleep. The I in sleep being perfect, why does the asking I feel imperfect? Because the one who feels imperfect is a spurious offshoot, a differentiation from the infinite, a segregation from God. Devotee, I am the same in all the three states. Did this ego submerge me, or did I entangle myself into it? Maharshi, did anything come up without you? Devotee, I am always the same. Maharshi, because you see it, this appears to have come up. Did you feel this difficulty in deep sleep? What is new now? Devotee, the senses and the mind. Maharshi, why say this? Who says this? Is it the sleeper? If so, he should have raised the question in deep sleep also. The sleeper has been lost hold of. Some spurious offshoot has differentiated himself and speaks now. Can anything new appear without that which is eternal and perfect? This kind of dispute is between eternal. Do not engage in it. Turn inward and put an end to all this. There will be no finality in disputations. Devotee, show me that grace which puts an end to all this trouble. I have not come here to argue. I want only to learn. Mercy, learn first what you are. This requires no shastras, no scholarship. This is simple experience. The state of being is now and here all along. You have lost hold of yourself and are asking others for guidance. The purpose of philosophy is to turn you inward. If you know yourself, no evil can come to you. Since you asked me, I have taught you. The ego comes up only holding you, the self. Hold yourself and the ego will vanish. Until then the sage will be saying there is, the ignorant will be asking where. Devotee, the crux of the problem lies in know thyself. Mercy, yes, quite so. Talk number 133. There are two schools in Advaita, Drishti Srishti, simultaneous creation, and two, Srishti Drishti, gradual creation. There is the Tantric Advaita which admits three fundamentals, Jagat, Jiva and Ishvara, Word, Soul, God. These three are also real, but the reality does not end with them. It extends beyond. That is the Tantric Advaita. The reality is limitless. The three fundamentals do not exist apart from the absolute reality. All agree that reality is all-pervading. Thus, Ishvara pervades the Jiva. Therefore, the Jiva has eternal being. His knowledge is not limited. Limited knowledge is only imagined by him. In truth, his is infinite knowledge. Its limit is silence. This truth was revealed by Dakshinamurti. For those who still perceive these three fundamentals, they are said to be realities. They are concomitant with the ego. True, the images of gods are described in great detail. Such description points only to the final reality. Otherwise, why is the special significance of each detail also given? Think. The image is only a symbol. Only that which lies beyond name and form is reality. Seva, Siddhanta and Vedanta have the common aim of the same truth. Otherwise, how could Sri Shankaracharya, the greatest exponent of Advaita, sing praises of God? Obviously, he did so knowingly. The questioner earnestly explained that his faith in Seva, Siddhanta, Vedanta, etc. was shaken after reading Bahyak literature. Please save me, he said. Mercy, know the self which is here and now, you will be steady and not waver. Devotee, the Bhagyast read others' minds. Mercy, yes, that is possible. Your thoughts were read by another. There must be one to know your mind. That is the truth always present which is to be realized. Truth does not waver. Devotee, show me grace. Mercy, grace always is and is not given. Why do you consider the pros and cons of Baha'u'llah or others being incarnations or otherwise? Know thyself, regard everything as truth, regard him also as the truth. Can he exist besides truth? Your belief may change but not truth. Devotee, show me the truth of Siddhanta, etc. Maharshi, follow their instructions, and then if you have doubts, you may ask. Adherence to those instructions will take you only to Mona. Differences are perceived in external objects only. If you follow their instructions, all differences will be lost. No one but the son of a king can be called a prince. So also only that which is perfect is called perfection. One should not be content with the mere discipleship, initiation, ceremony of surrender, etc. These are external phenomena. Never forget the truth underlying all phenomena. Devotee, what is the significance of the silence of Dakshinamurti? Mercy. Many are the explanations given by scholars and sages. Have it any way you please. 14th January 1936, talk number 134. A question about the heart was raised. Sri Bhagwan said that one should seek the self and realize it. The heart will play its part automatically. The seat of realization is the heart. It cannot be said to be either in or out. Devotee, did Bhagwan feel the heart as the point of realization in his first or early experience? Mercy, I began to use the word after seeing literature on the subject. I correlated it with my experience. Talk 15th January 1936. Talk number 135. Three European ladies from the Theosophical Conference came here and asked, is the whole scheme, the plan really good, or is it in the nature of an error, a mistake of which we have to make the best? Mercy, the plan is indeed good. The error is on our part. When we correct it in ourselves, the whole scheme becomes all right. Devotee, have you any formula to teach us how to bring it about through a remembrance of what we do during sleep? Mercy, no formula is needed. Everyone has the experience that he slept happily and know nothing then. Nothing else was experienced. Devotee, the answer does not satisfy me. We wander in the astral plane in our sleep, but we do not remember it. Mercy, the astral plane is concerned with dreams, not with deep sleep. Devotee, what do you consider to be the cause of world suffering, and how can we help to change it? As individuals, B, collectively. Mercy, realize the real self. It is all that is necessary. Devotee, can we hasten our illumination for greater service, and how? Mercy, as we are not able to help ourselves, so we have to surrender ourselves to the Supreme completely. Then He who will take care of us as well as the world. Devotee, what do you consider the goal? Mercy, self-realization. Devotee, is there any way to meet the appointed Guru for each? Mercy, intense meditation brings it about. Talk number 136. Dr. G.H. Mies, a young Dutchman, was here for a few days. He asked Sri Bhagwan, I have an impression that in deep sleep I have something akin to samadhi. Is it so? Maharshi, It is the waking I that asks the question, not the I in sleep. If you attain the state of wakeful sleep, which is the same as samadhi, while still awakened, doubts will not rise. Samadhi is one's natural state. It is the undercurrent in all the three states. This, that is, I is not in those states, but these states are in it. If we get samadhi in our waking state, that will persist in deep sleep also. The distinction between consciousness and unconsciousness belongs to the realm of mind, which is transcended by the state of the real self. Devotee, is the Buddhist view that there is no continuous entity answering to the ideas of the individual soul correct or not? Is this consistent with the Hindu notion of a reincarnating ego? Is the soul continuous entity which reincarnates again and again according to the Hindu doctrine, or is it mere mass of mental tendencies, sanskaras, Maharshi? The real self is continuous and unaffected. The reincarnating ego belongs to the lower plane, namely thought. It is transcended by self-realization. Reincarnations are due to a spurious offshoot. Therefore, it is denied by the Buddhist. The present state is due to a mixing up of the chitta, sentient, with jada, insentient. So here I stop this video. Thank you, my dear friends, watching this video with patience. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot, my dear friends. Namaskar.